Progress Racing presents Show Us Your Tips Saturday preview, looking towards a wet Rosehill and finals day down at Flemington, the Winter Series finals from Flemington. Beaver, how you travelling, buddy?
Very well, thank you, mate. Can't complain. Life's good, and just chilling out in lockdown, mate. Just staying safe.
Yeah, I guess it's all we can do, so we may as well have a bet along the way. It's the only thing on at the moment, apart from the footy. So we'll get into it. We'll kick off at Rosehill, where it is a heavy track. Plenty of rain around tonight as well. So I'm not thinking it's getting any better than this. Rail 3, similar setup a few sort of in May, played pretty fair. Last man standing, wet trackers, usual story, I think. So not too many surprises track-wise anyway. Kick off in the first with a 2 and... Oh, you're right.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I was just going to say, I think we've seen in Sydney and Rosehill, probably horses finishing on down the middle of the track have got a little bit of advantage at the moment. I think the leaders are probably finding it a little bit harder.
Yep. Well, a couple got nailed last week, didn't they? The last few weeks, even the long leaders seem to get wound in by the end of it. So we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. 2 and 3 year old benchmark 72 over the 1,300 meters kicks us off. Two sort of even in the market here, Tycoonist and Sir Davy up from Flemington. Which way did you lean here?
I led to Sir Davy. I just went for the lighter raced horse. Look, it probably, ninth last start was probably, is its worst run of its preparation, but it wasn't all that far off the winners, to be honest. It was less than 2 lengths off them in a pretty decent race and probably should have finished much closer. Yeah. And prior to that, it was very good at Sandown and excellent at Wenamble in some decent quality races. So I'm happy to give Sir Davy the edge here over Tycoonist, who again promised to win but didn't win.
Yeah, I leant the other way, and the logic being Tycoonist led up last start and I don't think it's a leader, so not necessarily that's a bad thing, but at least showed pace. Gets cover here from a couple out wide, sort of in the Empire and Yangara Rose. But the logic I ended up coming back to was if Tycoonist was sent south and then turned up at Sandown next Wednesday, do you reckon would be all over it? I'm pretty sure would be pretty keen.
Probably.
So that was sort of the line I drew there. So a talented horse, Sir Davy, and you could make a strong argument should have won that race at Flemington where it finished ninth. I think there are two chances. The tail of the day, similar to last week, is there's a few of these Waller non-winners that look like they're up to win, and we saw them do the job last week. And there seems to be a long tail in all of these races throughout the day, Beaver. So hopefully we're hearing at the right horses. Race 2 is the highway. Do we zero in at all here or keep going?
No, I was keeping going on the highway.
Well, actually, I haven't even done the format because I skipped through it, but Hellenism's a horse I'd half given a chance in some metro stuff. So I suppose it's got to run back in highway grade. But nowadays we've got 10 races and there's only so many hours in the day to devote to trying to get through highway form. Benchmark 78 is race 3 out to the 2,400 meters. No compromise is flying. Wet track seems to suit. It's had I don't always like the staying at 24, but I sort of in this case like the 24 back to 2,000. Still got a little bit of sprint back to 2,400. So long story short, I think no compromise is flying, and this isn't a strong race. It should win. Wetsuits, no. It's owned a lot of these already. I'm not interested in Cup Fever back from the 3 miles or 2 miles. So what, short end of the day, who's going to beat it?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think no compromise looks a very hard horse to beat in this race. Looks to get a nice draw, looks to have nice run in the race and should prove hard to beat. It'll certainly be in the finish. I think if you're looking for a knockout chance, Kitzbühel's been running well in weaker races, but seems to be stepping through the grades nicely and should handle the softer track and could give it a good run.
Well, you found one off Wagga form last week, so I won't argue with you there. Race number 4 is another benchmark 72, a lot of 72 standard races throughout the day. This one for the 3-year-olds over the 1100 meters. And did you have any thoughts on this race?
Mate, I thought this was one of the hardest races of the day. Look, I found it hard to have anything with confidence, but it is a pretty open market. I went for the top weight, Veronelli. I'm not a big fan of tipping Waterhouse horses, but this horse, fresh, could go well, and in a pretty open market, could be the horse to beat.
I end up coming back to the horse with the track and distance set up on the wet Magic Ruler. It's $18. One pretty. I know it had the big price last time, but won pretty well. And we've both had an opinion of Irish Angel. It reeled it in the wet. Jason Collett's as good a wet track rider is on this program anyway, and at the price, a great bet. And I thought I've got a feeling it won't turn up here, but Ibrakaki I think is a decent horse and can roll forward and sit off the back of Villanelli and give you a decent sight. They were sort of the two, but as we get deeper in this program, yeah, I guess it's whether we veer towards value or whether we try and narrow in these favourites, I suppose.
Well, it doesn't matter in this race because everything's value, and there is dead set 10 or 12 chances. You know, horses, as we see down in the market, joviality, double figure odds, it's goes good. And a horse like Distillate, it won its last start on a Saturday, albeit a highway, won well.
Yep.
20-1.
Yeah. So back yourself there, I suppose, when we got a market like that. Race
Yep.
number 5 is the first midway we see just to get us out to 10 on the day. 1100 meters, benchmark 72. I don't quite know the exact rules for fielding horse for being part of these races, but it's the smaller stables. How have you got a bet here, or are you treating these like the highways as well?
Yeah, this is a pretty tricky race as well. I thought the hardest to beat, I thought its first run after a spell from Albalaggio Miss was pretty good. Don't see any reason why it won't strip fitter for that. And again, seems to handle the heavy and soft tracks. So Malkovich, 2 lengths off Malkovich, who went to Melbourne and won easily. That looks like pretty good form to me. So yeah, certainly hardest to beat.
Yeah, I went looking straight away for the obvious Metro stuff, which is Albalaggio Miss, a nice return, and Catapult first up is an honest Metro style horse. So may spends on time at the midweeks, I know, but it's set up well for this. And the trials have been okay, so about $12 out of the two I would play in this race this time of the day. Race number 6, benchmark 88 over the 1500 meters. All of our favourites here, Beaver. How have you separated them?
Yeah, look, it was pretty hard to get a line between. I was tossing up between Oscar Zulu and Cisco Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I narrowed it down to those 2 horses. I thought Oscar Zulu's last 2 runs have been outstanding. It sat up on the pace and showed a good, nice turn of foot. And should probably have to go forward or come across and sit a little bit forward in this, and therefore have a similar run. But Cisco Bay was well backed first up last start. Flew down the outside and was really impressive. So if the track is favouring horses that are shooting down the outside, really going to watch the market with Cisco Bay because it really finished off lovely last start, last preparation, finished that off as well, trialled well. So everything's kind of pointed into the fact that Cisco Bay may have come back in really good order. So I'm probably just leading to Cisco Bay over Oscar Zulu.
By race 6, we're going to have an idea of how the track's playing as well, so that'll influence, I guess, the market. My eyes were first drawn to the 2 Waller horses here when I started, and I think by the end of it, I started with the 2 Waller horse, which is New Ranger and Oscar Zulu. Then when you sort of factor in Canasta is going to get an easy lead up front, but then factor in how well Cisco Bay ran against it, I sort of end up not really finding an answer, and the market reflects that. Probably, if we can run on, maybe Cisco Bay is the best horse at the end of the day, and Tommy Berry's probably the go-to jockey throughout most of today. So sort of leaning that way. Oscar Zulu's flying. And I think the arrangements come back in really good order and around $8. Any longer than that is a good each way bet, I think. So having just tipped 4 horses there, I think in short what you said there about Cisco Bay might be the way to play that race. Race number 7 is the 3 and 4-year-old benchmark 72 over the 1,500 meters. Does this get any easier, Beaver?
No, another race that's fairly open with plenty of chances. So if you can find the winner, it'll be a good result for you. I've stuck with Le Chevalier in this. Its 3 runs this preparation have been outstanding. I think this is probably the easiest field it's met in this preparation. It's been finishing off its races nicely. Again, ran third behind Zing, that's come out and franked that form. Was less than a length off those, and then went down in Sandown. Was beaten by a fairly good horse in Kurabui, and had form out of the Wanamble meetings. So, look, I think it's going well. I think the wider draw suits. And certainly shouldn't have any trouble handling the track. It's had 3 starts on heavy for 2 wins in a second, so it looks the horse to beat. And I thought Omaji might be a bit of a danger. Went back to midweeks, won last time out on heavy, so we know it can handle the heavy truck as well. So if you're looking for something at a bit of value, Omaji, but might tip Le Chevalier.
Yeah, Le Chevalier has also gotten through heavy Sandown, and heavy Sandown's much heavier than probably what they face on the weekend. So wet track shouldn't be an issue there. So I think it's the obvious starting point. The 2 here that outside the market that I'm interested in as well are the 2 quick backup horses that raced 7 days ago. Key was okay. Down in the weights now, 7-day backup. That was chasing Patino Ruby. And Booba is $26 and resumed pretty well, just missing behind Meg. Second option, missing behind Meg, but now quick backup. Right down in the weights with James Ennis Jr. and his $26. So there'll be a couple there that at least to go in the quality and probably have something small on at each way. Race number 8, benchmark 78 over the 1,300 meters. And after getting 8 races deep into this card, I looked at this and had to tap out on this race. I was doing my head in. So did you have a thought?
I didn't really have a thought in this race either, mate. I tapped out on this one, and that's complete chocolate wheel for me.
Yeah. If
I had to have a bet, I would probably look at something mollycoddle down in the weights. Wasn't disgraced last start. I think again, if they're finishing off, it might be hard to beat down the middle of the track, but no confidence there. I'd be playing a bit of value.
Yeah, no, I if I had to, would probably lean back to, I know it's favourite, but Nash on the sole leader, decent wet tracker in Vitesse, but I felt sick looking at the race, so I had to move on. Race number 9 is the other staying on, the 800-meter race, where we see Berta back in town with 66 kilos at the top of the weights there. But short price favourite, Wicklow has come to Australia, been impressive every start, and I don't think this is any bigger challenge it's faced so far. Wet track suits, Avdallah stays on and should keep winning, shouldn't it?
Yeah, best bet of the day.
Yep.
Wicklow should be winning, and $2.20. I don't see you getting too much better odds than that.
Very good. And we'll finish today, race 10, benchmark 78 for the fillies and mares. And I really like the resumption of Steel Diamond. It was first up for Chris Waller last start. Wet track is a tick. Nash goes on. Map to get one out, one back. And he's $6. I think it's a great bet in this race. Caitlin was a little bit disappointing on the wet here, so I don't know if it starts. And still, I don't quite have my head around Expat yet, but I think Steel Diamond's a nice horse. And I think $6 is a nice price. How are you finishing off?
Yeah, I thought similar to you there, mate. I had a slight leaning towards Steel Diamond, just in front of Miss Einstein. I thought it gets to the right race and the right setup for an event like this. And third up could be hard to beat. But yeah, same for me, still Diamond in a tough finish to the race.
So for progretracing.com.au, your best and value in Sydney, and we'll do a quaddy after that, actually.
Yeah, look, my best came up in race number 9, number 13, Wicklow.
Mm-hmm.
And then my value came up in race 6, number 9, Cisco Bay.
Very good. I'm gonna make my best Tycoonist. I think a bit of cover can atone for last start, and my value in the last there, Steel Diamond, with Nash on board. Run through the quaddy. Do you want to drive the Sydney one, or do you want me?
Where you go? You can drive the Sydney one, mate.
So first leg is race 7, number 4 Le Chevalier, number 5 Paper Warrior, 6 Omudgy, 11 Key, 15 Boober. Just step in when you need to, Beaver. What about
That's
this
good.
one? 6 for Tess, 11 Taxu, 14 Mollycoddle. What am I doing with Zell? No, that'll do. That'll do us. Let's move on. Race number 9. Let's go 5 Criminal Code, 13 Wicklow, and stick with that. Unless you want to throw Lakeen in.
No, that's good.
Actually, we'll throw Harpo Marks in. Number 6 Harpo Marks. It was pretty good resumption. And let's come home with 5. Let's come home with 8 X Pack, 9 Steel Diamond, at 12 Miss Einstein. So a little bit of value there.
And number 2, Cafe Royale.
Cafe Royale, Trent's horse. All right, that goes into going pretty well in the wet. So hopefully we've got our quaddy numbers there. I didn't write it down, so pause and grab your pen, peoples. And we'll head down to Flemington for progretracing.com.au. Check out their free tips and extensive guide each and every day. For the Winter Series final day, we're on a soft track. Should play a standard Flemington. Rails in the true. We all know what we get there. We're kicking off with the 2-year-olds up the straight in race 1. And how are you going to lead us away, Beaver?
Yeah, look, I wasn't overly impressed with the field or this lineup, but for that reason and that reason alone, I thought the favourite was going to be super hard to beat in this. Look, it was a pretty good ride and only got out late, but when it got out, it hit the line really well at Donald. Hard to line that form up to Flemington form, but it was an impressive run. Ma Eustace, they quite often take him to those tracks to give him a pretty easy time and a kill, and brought to town now and favourite and looks hard to beat in the first.
Yeah, not a great deal of interest from me, but it was a nice enough debut and probably the one to beat. Race number 2, I think I'm passing on this. I think Seb Song is going all right, but all this sort of mushed up midweek form in the Silver Bowl final left me confused. Did you have any clearer picture?
Yeah, I was just leaning towards Seb Song. Look, it's 2 starts back at Sandown, slow out, and ran on well against the bias, and then same again. It was caught a bit wide and didn't have the best of luck at Cranbourne behind Reliable Dude. I think Flemington suits it better. Should get a better run with Jamie Carr on board, and around the $5 mark gives us a good sight.
Race number 3 is the Banjo Patterson final for the stayers, 2,600 metres. We have $1.40 favourite in Grand Promenade. Bowled in last time. It's going really well, and I couldn't even find a horse I wanted to tip into a Quinella place, really. So,
no, it's winning and winning comfortably.
Race number 4 is the Taj Rossi Series final over the mile. Quality listed race for the 2-year-olds. Where I'm going to lean to the Sydney form. I really like the win of Royal Zell last time out to 1,500 metres. I think it's as long as it handles the trip down there for a young horse. I think Flemington will suit it. It'll get back. Craig Williams flying. Big Flemington straight to get out, and I think it's got a pretty good turn of foot to round up a lot of these. How do you line them all up?
Yeah, exactly the same as you, mate. I thought Royal Zell was looked super hard to beat. It's yeah, looks cherry ripe for this one.
Race number 5 is the Revette Series final over the 1400 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. Star Rumour's favourite. I know it won last start, but it just feels like a bit of a non-winner to me. So once I took that
Yeah.
out, I saw you sort of specking Aiden Field off the group form, and then it's could be anything. In these fillies races get to be very tricky. So I didn't really have a thought beyond that. Beaver, did you have any more?
Yeah, I liked Aidensford. I mean, we were just talking earlier about Sir Davy, and it was in the same race as it, I think, and finished 7th, less than a length behind the winner. So it was a pretty good run first up. And then prior to that, ran in some good quality races. It's had some troubles, finished 3 lengths behind La Mexican. That's pretty good form. Raced in races that have had odium in it. So it's raced a bit against much better quality than this. If it's fit and doesn't have any problems, it can be winning this, that's for sure.
Yep, and no problem backing Jamie Mott either. So all good there. My main thought was I'm against a favourite, so happy to ride along there. The Winter
That
Championship.
was me too.
Yeah, the Winter Championships final is the listed mile race number 6, where this horse is building an impressive record, and again, the back end of these finals races, it's all the same contenders, and it's beat up most of these before. I think it'll do it again. Even money looks to me a good price. Much more to add.
No, it looks certainly hard to beat at the moment. Winning form's good form around the winter time. Yeah, super hard to beat dice roll. Maybe the main danger, Kerwin's Lane,
Yeah.
down from Sydney.
Yep. No, fair enough. Quaddy wise, you might even look at the Cox Plate horse there, Buckhurst at the top, but I haven't had a lot of. It'd only be just on fear of being knocked out by one of those Williams horses. The Stayers final, the Mahogany Challenge for the 3-year-olds. Again, a tricky race. Unique Artist was a big price and did bolt in. The rest of the field looked to be stopping though, so I'm not sure what that was. So I actually end up coming back to Token Spirit off the. I know it's perhaps slightly bias assisted at Sandown, but Jamie Carr has had the 2,400 meter run, and I think will be in the finish. I think a lot of these will be very tight at the end of this race. So was just leaning that way from Unique Artist, who's been backed and has been pretty impressive. Beyond that, not a lot to talk about. How about you, Beaver?
I've gone for Murrumbidgee River. Only had the one start over 1,500, so it is a big step from 1,500 to 2,500, but these are not overly seasoned quality horses. It's in a good stable, and I'm interested to see that they are stepping it out to 1,500. It's bred by out of a Melbourne Cup winner,
Fiorente.
and so yes, so you'd expect it to be able to get the distance. I think around the $8.50, Murrumbidgee River in a pretty open affair. One easy in its only start, and I'm expecting it can run the distance.
Isn't it interesting to see it come to town off one start out here? That does reek a bit of a project, doesn't it? So
Yeah,
definitely in a winnable race too. So very interested. Zara booked is I guess all ticks there. The Sprint Series final is at 1,200 meters, where we saw. Look, we've seen all these horses enough. We saw what they did last time, and I think the two that fought out the finish will fight it out again. It's whether you want to back the astrologist to lead to push up and lead all the way. I think High Stranger coming down the outside now can wheel it in. I was probably leaning the way of the astrologist holding on again, but nothing between them as the market reflects.
cutting out. Did you turn that off, Campbell? Xbox. Yeah, cool. Yeah, just faintly.
Here we go. That'll be better. All right, you got me now?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, shit. The mic switched off for some reason. All right, we'll get back to this. Kick off with your thoughts on race 8. Go for it.
Yeah, race 8. Look, I've gone the other way. I've gone High Stranger. I think the drawn wide down the outside fence suits, so I think it can pull out wide and get the fast lane down the outside and finish too strong for him.
Race number 9 is the Leilani Series final over the 1400 meters, and it's a case of the same here with me. And that the two that fought out the finish last time will probably do the same thing again. I was with Lindoot. Craig Newitt's flying. If he times his run slightly better this time, I think she wins. From Don't Tell the Boss, who won the lead up and is a big price. With Alana Kelly, she's going to roll long in front and is a good, honest little battler. So they were the two I was wrapping up the day with. How about you, Beaver?
Yeah, I went for Linda just in front of Galgani, to be honest. I thought it was a good run last start as well in the same race. So sort of first, second, third seemed to be the pick of the bunch here. But I'm tipping Lindell to beat Galgani this time and don't tell the boss not to be there.
Cool. For progretracing.com.au, your best end value at Flemington.
Yeah, my best bet, my value bet comes up in, just trying to find where my bet's, race 7, number 7, Murrumbidgee River. Thought it presented with some really nice value. And my best bet of the day came up in race 4, number 1, Rosehill.
I actually went Rosehill my best as well because I thought you might have gone dice roll. So nice. I'll go dice roll then. So pretty keen on those two. And I'll make my value in the last. I think Don't Tell the Boss will run well enough at about $13 on a day. I didn't have a great deal outside the market. Do you want to do the quaddie here?
Yeah, I'll drive the quaddie here, mate. In the first leg, I'm just going to go with the number 2 and number 10, dice roll and Kerwin's Lane. In the next leg, I'll throw a little bit of a few horses in here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8.
Cool.
In the next leg, I'm going to go 1, 5, and 8.
Yep. And how are we going to finish off?
And I'm going to finish the day with number 3, 4, 10, and 13.
I like it. Good work, mate. Got a couple. Before we go up north, a couple over at Morphettville. Race 3, number 5, Pindaric, and race 9, number 9, Blairo. I think will both run really well. What do we got up north? I believe it's torrential up there for the next 3 days. So I don't know how much of the meeting we're going to get through, but have you got anything for us?
Yeah, it's really heavy up at the Sunshine Coast, so hard to get a good guide there. But I did come up with a few. Race 3, number 3, is the first one of the day that I liked. And then moving through the day, I thought race 5, number 1, Goldsboro would be hard to beat. And then my other bets that I liked was race 6, number 9, Tamalade. Thought it'd be hard to beat as well.
Race 6, number 1, was it, or race 7, number 1?
Race 6, number 9.
Oh, number 9. What about that Winx Guineas? If you'd asked me how old Tumbler Ridge was, I would have said 8. It feels like it's been around for 400 years, some of these horses that are 3. But anyway,
Yes.
Tumbler better run well, some of the old suspects. Good stuff, mate. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck to everyone playing over the weekend. Stay safe in lockdown. Keep yourselves amused, but stay out of trouble. Hopefully everyone's back to normal. Well, who knows what normal is at the moment in the coming months. And we will speak to everyone on Tuesday night for our midweek preview. Catch you guys soon.